The story began with a boy named Errol sitting at the table with his family during lunch. His mother expressed her excitement as well, a thought that made his sister uneasy at the idea of losing him to others. While Errol's older sister, Errol, however, remained grounded. Unlike his family, he believed he would turn out to be just another ordinary boy. In his world, hero classes were blessings, granting them the ability to specialize in various skills. The priest began the ritual by placing his hand on the forehead of the first boy. Children, once they turned 10, he would inherit something equally extraordinary, and the priest continued the process with the remaining students. His sister insisted that he would surely receive a remarkable blessing, and whispers of envy spread among the crowd. As he walked toward the priest, his family cheered. Many assumed that, since Errol's parents, Farah, the Sword Princess, and Leon, Archmage, possessed advanced classes, he would inherit something equally extraordinary. Yet, when Errol closed his eyes and concentrated, he saw nothing. The priest was stunned and solemnly announced that Errol was a rare case, a child born without a class. His family's excitement immediately collapsed into disappointment. They believed his future was ruined, convinced he had been cursed with mediocrity. The next day, Errol devoted himself to practicing basic swordsmanship, and he explained that he simply wished not to be a burden. His sister promised her continued support. Errol reminded them that he had always trained with his mother and could still be useful, even without a class. He privately noted, however, that his mother's overwhelming strength made her a rather harsh teacher. Although his family fussed over him with affection, Errol grew weary of their attention and left to train alone. At the training grounds, he encountered two students of the Swordsman class sparring together. They mocked him for being classless, insisting that they themselves did not even need to train because of their innate advantages. When they boasted about their skills, Errol boldly challenged them. Initially, they laughed at his audacity, but one boy eventually accepted to teach him a lesson. Before the duel began, he reminded Errol about the protection blessing, a shield granted to all children at birth that prevented fatal injury. Errol confirmed he was protected and prepared himself. The boy attacked with confidence, yet Errol parried with ease. Shocked, his opponent grew increasingly frustrated. As the duel intensified, the boy called upon his partner for aid, but Errol quickly outmaneuvered them both, knocking them down in swift succession. Although the defeated boys protested, claiming he had caught them off guard, Errol calmly stated that the result spoke for itself. Before the quarrel could escalate, a red-haired boy intervened, chastising the pair for dishonoring the swordsman class with their excuses. Recognizing him as the son of Evan, the village security captain, the boys backed down. The red-haired youth then challenged Errol directly, revealing his resentment toward Farah, Errol's mother, who had taken the title of strongest swordsman in the village from his father. Despite his bitterness, he acknowledged Errol's skill and declared his intention to prove the superiority of the swordsman class. The two clashed fiercely, their duel far more intense than the previous fight. Though Errol held his ground, the red-haired boy eventually unleashed a special technique, the twin slice, injuring Errol. The boy explained that such skills could not be replicated by someone without a class. Yet Errol, determined, resolved to master it through sheer training. Days later, Errol's mother revealed to his sister just how hard he had been pushing himself. She showed her a chest filled with broken swords, evidence of his relentless practice. Meanwhile, Errol himself continued to train in secret. He eventually succeeded in replicating the twin slice, astonishing even himself. While testing his new skill in the forest, he was ambushed by a goblin, which he quickly dispatched. Soon after, he heard a scream and discovered the red-haired boy gravely injured, cornered by a hobgoblin. Without hesitation, Errol struck down the monster using his twin slice. Afterward, he offered the boy his holy water to heal his wounds. The red-haired youth was astonished to learn that Errol had mastered the skill through observation and relentless practice. When Errol revealed he had even developed a third strike, beyond the original technique, the boy was overwhelmed. Their subsequent rematch confirmed Errol's superiority, as his modified technique allowed him to prevail. Feeling completely outclassed, the redhead gnashes his teeth in defeat, and Errol walks away victorious. A few days later, as Errol's family is having dinner, Farah reveals that Evan's son has left to train at Brescia. Surprised by this news, Errol asks what Brescia is, and his mother explains that it's the city of swords. She tells him that she used to train at a guild there before her marriage, and Errol feels excited to visit the city and explore his full potential as a classless hero. That was episode 1. Subscribe to not miss the next part and watch the next video on screen.